I don't think they've ever done hands-on zombies before the release of the game, before, you know, the release window. So
Sure.
that was incredible that they let us get into that deep, especially how deep they let us get into it, like 13 waves, significant chunk of content.
Overall, I guess they said we made it about 30% of the way through the zombies experience. But it's fun to get like the full setup for Call of Duty Zombies this time around, because the marketing beat and very much the message is, hey, after all, a lot of this studio worked on Dead Space back in the day.
Sure.
And then we went over to Sledgehammer, and now we're getting all of it out of our system by making the most terrifying zombies ever. But it's amazing that like in the Activision PR strategy, you know, it's like reference Dead Space constantly. But
it's a fair, you know, there's definitely like, you know, you can see it there.
You think
like,
so?
I think you can see the underpinnings, not necessarily like they're definitely taking it in like the scary Nazi vibe, which I think is very strong. Like
the
that's
concept
a very
art
strong
is
element.
amazing.
Yeah,
I definitely had that moment where we started playing. It's like, okay, it's Call of Duty Zombies mode.
it is Call of Duty. It's one of the more frenetic zombie modes I've played. It seems to be, you know, I don't know if we're going into it right now, but like it's seat of your pants, like on the fly decision making more than going through a checklist of this is how we need to proceed with this mission to win.
Really?
Yeah.
What change ups did you have halfway through?
Like we had several incidents which were more dynamic events than typical zombies mode, where we had to like kill people in a certain area in order to power up different things and move through the dungeon, or you know, not dungeon, but the layout.
You start out in like a snowy town in Germany, and then you're descending and descending in these layers of hell, and they say it gets wetter and crazier as it goes down.
Yeah,
wetter.
They said specifically wetter.
They did. They made a point to hammer that one home.
Yeah,
as you get down there with the blood and viscera and organs that you're trampling on.
Oh.
It's very pure horror. It's like the last two entries. I've liked them both, but you know, I like the film noir vibe, and of course the campy '80s one I really like that too. But this one's just like, nah, we're not going to do anything cutesy. This is a horror story.
To the point
say
that
that,
but it's true.
But then they get like celebrities to be in all these games.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the structure now, right? You got to have a couple big names to carry it, but they don't do any like the kitschy comedy act. This is like, we are down here and we're gonna die.
Even to the point of the zombies that don't have glowy eyes anymore. They want it to be, in theory, they say like, oh, we did our research. We want it to be like kind of sort of physically possible that conceptually Nazis would have revived these corpses. And it's the backstory, who knows how much is going to come through outside of like Easter eggs, but the backstory is it's very much a Jurassic Park situation where the Nazis are like, we can control the dead.
Yes.
This is beautiful. We'll make a whole army. And then, my God, it's gotten out of control and they've killed the Nazis as well.
Right.
And that's why in the lore of Nazi zombies, that's why there's like guns everywhere that you can buy and stuff, because they're like, you know, an emergency break glass situation for the Nazis, just in case the zombies ever got out of control.
And they came up with and they did 3 times before you get there, as a matter of fact. So yeah, you can read. I wrote a whole thing on the lore, on the specific lore stuff on the site. So I don't know how deep you want to get into that, but yeah, it's crazy how they're looking at sort of like the Nazi obsession with combining analytical science with the occult. Like this was a real crazy thing, and they're just swinging for the fences on that one and just going with it, which is cool.
Yeah, it's all based on, help me out, Dan. What was the name of the Holy Roman Emperor?
Barbarossa.
There we go. It's all
so that would be the First Reich.
Yeah, so it's this worship of Barbarossa, right? And then you're going down, you're trying to construct Tesla guns, and there's a surprising amount of electricity in this mode.
They didn't tell us exactly how Barbarossa's involved, but I'm guessing there's going to be some relic from his era.
There's statues and stuff of him in this arena and stuff, but a surprising amount of electricity.
Tons of electricity.
Getting to certain areas and then just frying the hell out of all these zombies.
Right, and special abilities, like I don't think I've seen those in zombie mode before. Like not that are powered. Like you have a bar that charges up and you can unleash your ultimate, so to speak, which is really cool.
Infinite ammo, which Dan
I
had
needed
for a shocking amount of time.
Yeah, because apparently I had a perk that gave me let me overcharge my ability, so it could go above the cap. So when I actually did use it, I got to shoot for like a minute of just pure free fire, which was, as you saw, very necessary. Like they swarm you real hard. And interestingly enough, this zombies isn't just wave-based. There's location and environment triggers as well for encounters. So it is kind of like walking through like a haunted house in some respects. It felt more like some of the other zombie modes where you could kind of calculate, we want to fight this wave here. Yeah. This one's like, oh, we open this door, that thing's going to come at us, and we have to calculate the waves on top of that.
Dan Tack was big after we played. By the way, I just took notes for them. I didn't necessarily play. Jeff Cork did. But Dan Tack was big on pointing out, like, I think you're pulling some punches. That seemed too easy. What's going on here? Did you put this on easy mode?
I did ask, and they wouldn't answer that, if you noticed.
I think they did.
They said no, but they said...
That's an answer.
Hey, but they said they were making it more accessible, but at the same time, super hardcore for the people. Because the zombie audience is extremely hardcore. Like, they figure out all the secrets.
Yeah.
And exactly, they have to break it down into, like, we have to get this gun when we open this gate. figure it down, like, currency points, where we're going to be.
So it's a wider gate for the opening, but then it's going to narrow and get more difficult as you go along.
Walk me through that real quick. Like wave 1 to you ended on wave 15.
13, which is pretty,
13. So
pretty great for one play.
So 40 waves, 45
no doubt
waves?
You're great, Dan.
But how does wave 1 compare? Like, what is that?
We got like 30% through the experience or something, like 25 to 30% through the experience, not counting, mystery triggers and all those other weird stuff that we didn't find. But through the main path.
Do you remember some of the variety in enemies?
Yeah, sure.
So wave 1 is what? You have just standard zombies coming?
The thing opens with sort of like the sort of like traditional Call of Duty Zombies experience where you're like you're putting boards on walls, getting your pistols, but it ends almost immediately after that. I don't remember another time when we were actually doing window boarding.
Because you go down into the sewers then pretty quickly after that, and then it gets into messed up tunnels.
Down to the sewers and the morgue and the laboratory, different areas underneath the town where all this sadistic science has been going on. Like, these zombies are propelled by some nervous system technology, and they actually are like, there's got all kinds of like spinal grafts and metal bolts and all kinds of stuff to strap them together. And this is actually, they really went for it, like I said, because these elements are functional, not just to like strap him up, like not just to keep his arm upright, but actually like they get their power from being tortured because of how this nervous system stuff works. So like if you put a device on them that's going to torture them as well, they get stronger. Like, it's crazy. It's really weird and disturbing.
And then your last wave, what was that like?
Well, last wave was, we had a combination. I think I think it was an event boss kind of guy because he was destroying everybody. Just a giant, like several people torso, like guy with a flame pack, and he just annihilated us while we were getting waved down, and we were right about to get our Tesla weapons, which would have probably saved us.
Yeah.
We were right against the timer, I guess, so to speak.
I wish Jeff Cork was here because he was the biggest on bringing this up. Like, hey, it's really strange that the zombies mode is so over the top, and it's like, ooh, look at this spooky stuff. And then also with the campaign, you're like, this is like an honor, a tribute to World War II veterans. We're really giving it our all. Jeff Cork had the perfect analogy where he's like, it's like you guys are bundling together a 2 DVD pack of Raiders of the Lost Ark and Schindler's List. I guess Saving Private Ryan's probably a better example.
You're not at a line there. It's a little strange, but at the same time, I always say like these are actually separate games almost at this point. You buy a Call of Duty, you get 3 different games. You get the campaign, you get the multiplayer, and you get a zombies or some other thing, right?
Right.
But I think they are really disparate entries. Like, some people play it for just multiplayer and never touch that other stuff. And I think at this point, zombies has become its own thing. So I think some people play just zombies. And there's a lot to dig deep into this one with, looking for clues.
Thank you so much for watching this excerpt from the Game Informer Show podcast. You can subscribe to the audio version and listen to new episodes airing every Thursday. We cover big games on the horizon, games that we've just reviewed. We have long-form developer interviews, a lot of fun stuff. So check it out every Thursday.